Hey beautiful, great to have you back. Don't miss out on any episode. Follow me on Facebook where you will receive additional information. Just look for Tita May, and for now I wish you a lot of inspiration. Hi everyone and welcome to today's episode of I Am Aloha. Amazing times happening and a lot of things doing, and going from the full moon to new moon is a special time to release things, and I find it amazing that somehow I booked my additional Lomi training in this period right now, and I started it today, and it's gonna go until Monday, and then 2 days break, and then 4 more days, and it's going to end the day of the new moon. So this is really interesting because I just figured this out like 2 days ago, and I realized that this Lomi training is probably going to be extremely interesting. I'm just going to put it interesting because I think it's, in some parts, I'll probably not feel very at ease with the whole thing. But I'm very much looking forward to it already. And I had the first day today, and I already know it's going to help me to release a lot of things, to let go of a lot of things here in Germany. And because I need to let go of 20 years having stayed here, and I want to let go of all the fears that I have of becoming a nomad, because for me, I feel like my ancestors have done it. And I mean, not like really nomads in a way of moving around from one place to another all the time, but they would move around every couple of years. And I feel like for me, it's time to let go of a fixed point of life. I mean, my fixed points are always going to be my friends, my family. So, and it feels like that's the normal for me. And I feel like I wasn't able to bloom being here. But this is like just for me because it's just my path. So, and it's realizing who I am, or acknowledging who I am. But at the same time, allow myself to live the fears of letting go of those things. Because somehow in my mind and in my projection of my life, this having this fixed point, like having a job, and it's not like I'm not going to have a job, but it's going to be different. But that felt like it was security. Having an apartment, that felt like it was a security. And now I'm letting go of those things. So naturally, I also go through a lot of fears that come up. And I allow myself to have those fears. And that's something I wanted to share with you guys. To be able at one point, or on one hand, to be able to admit to you guys that I have fears is amazing for me, because there was a time where I wasn't able to admit it to myself. So, and now it's for me, it's natural for me, and it's awesome for me to be able to say that I have fears, and I'm fine with that, and I have them, and I allow myself to dwell on them a little bit, but I also allow myself to let go. And then I know that by the end, when I leave on October 30th, I'm going to be fine, and I'm going to be in a state of mind that is very, I guess, free. You could give it the name of freedom for me, for myself. But this doesn't mean because I'm going to travel, I'm going to be free. What I'm trying to say is that because I overcome my fears, that's what's going to set me free. It's not going to be the fact of me leaving. It's going to be the fact that I am here facing these fears, and I'm allowing them to be, but I'm also releasing them. And what I want to show you with this, by telling you this, is that I'm not fighting it. And I think that that's one really important point in our lives, to stop fighting ourselves, to be free, and to stop fighting ourselves, to be in harmony, and to accept ourselves the way we are. Accept ourselves with mood swings, accept ourselves with having bad moments in our lives, accept ourselves with maybe reacting in a bad way to someone, and accept ourselves the way we are, and to stop fighting ourselves, and to stop being in constant discussions with ourselves. And I want to give you an example, because I mean, this, like, the first thing I just told you was about my fears and admitting those things to myself. So I wasn't fighting myself over it. But you know, like, sometimes in certain areas, we have people in our lives that tell us how we're supposed to feel, you know. Even like when you have children, you're like, oh, don't cry, you know, why not? Release whatever anger you have, release whatever emotion you have at that moment. But our society teaches us to stop those feelings, to put them away, to hide them, to not have them. Like, if someone starts crying somewhere, it's really awkward, you know, like, why? Because we learn that emotions are something that's not so good. So we decided as a society to find them not so good. And we decided as a society to say for ourselves that it's not good. So basically what happens inside of us is that we look at ourselves and we want to have anger, or we want to have fear or sadness or whatever emotion comes up, and we don't allow ourselves to have that because it might seem weak. So you see, the problem that you're having in that moment is you're judging yourself to be weak because you have those emotions, and you're fighting yourself over it because you're telling yourself you're not allowed to have those emotions. So you try to tug them away. And what happens with emotions that are tugged away? Yeah, they come up in some other way at some other point, and you haven't released them. So you see, fighting yourself is just not good. And what I want to give you as an exercise for this week is actually that. Just be mindful with yourself and watch out for some inner fights or inner discussions you might have with yourself. Are you arguing with yourself about something? Because it's not just about emotions, you know, pushing down emotions. It's also about judgment. Because sometimes it's like, and actually I was talking to this with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, because she always wanted to be an artist, but in her mind, or how the whole society has brought her up, it's like, artists aren't, it's not a real job, and you can't really, like, you know, live from that, so it's not a good thing. So she kept feeling, so she didn't allow her creative side to come out because it wasn't good. So that was on one hand, it was a fight against herself, you know, like discussion, not being at peace with herself, because on one hand she wanted to be an artist, she wants to be creative, but on the other hand she's not allowing herself to do so. So of course one side always wins, but it's the side that it's not coming from the heart. And it's interesting because she decided to stop fighting it and to just be, and now she just is, and she's creating, and she's being an artist, and it's beautiful, and it's wonderful what's coming out of it, you know. And the most wonderful thing is that she doesn't want to even name it. She's just letting it be for now. She doesn't know if this is going to be like a long-term thing or just a short-term thing, but whatever it is, it's just right there, and it's wonderful. And it's because she stopped fighting herself. She stopped arguing with herself. She's trying to be at peace with herself. And that's what I want to give to you. I had this epiphany a couple of years ago when a friend of mine showed me Prem Rawat, who's a Maharaji from India. I don't know if you've heard from him, but if you listen to his talks, he talks about how we keep peace inside of ourselves. That actually peace comes from inside of all of us. And that basically the thing that's wrong with us is that we're not at peace with ourselves. And what does it mean to be at peace with yourself? Is accept yourself the way you are. Is not argue your way around yourself. Not to suppress your emotions. Not to suppress the way you are. Even though it might not seem beautiful, or certain things in society might not say that that's correct, that's all the beauty you have. And you'll see, and you can always see, it's like my dad always says, there's always two sides of things. And of course there's two sides of things. And you can decide if you want to see the bad sides or the good sides. And I bet if you let go and accept yourself the way you are and stop arguing with yourself and stop fighting yourself and be at peace with yourself, you're going to find a beautiful soul inside of you, a beautiful being and beaming. And you're going to be this wonderful creator that can create things. So this is this week's exercise. Look out for where you try to argue with yourself, where you try to suppress yourself. Where are you not allowing yourself to be all that you can be? Where is fear guiding you, and where is your heart guiding you? So I wish you a lot of fun with this exercise. As always, love to hear how you're doing. So if you'd like, send me a text, send me a message. You have my contact details. And until then, wishing you all a happy weekend, a nice weekend, a blessed time, a lot of love and light. Have a great time, guys, and talk to you next week. Bye, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in again. I hope you were able to get some good takeaways for yourself. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a review. And if you'd like to receive some more inspirational information, sign up to Tita May's Weekly Inspiration, which will be coming soon. You can find the link on my website, www.titamayola.com. I'm looking forward to inspire you some more, and until then, aloha mahalo, e ho'o mai kai kako, e ahui ho. A loving thank you from the heart, a lot of blessings for everyone, and hear you again next time.